Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right?
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their veteran QB, the former Delaware Blue Hen, Joe Flacco.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
To pass, Flacco, and that's complete to Adams. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
Passing play, Flacco. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. The numbers for Beckham in last week's effort. 5 catches, 67 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
On first down, Flacco. Open man right side is Ingram. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. This is what the defense is going to look like for Tampa Bay. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. The Giants and Bucs, these 2 teams, they met in Week 4 last year in Tampa Bay, and it was Nick Folk with a game-winning field goal, 25-23, and at the time, that sent New York to 0-4.
And how about the last 2 to get them to 0-4? Lost on a 61-yard field goal at the buzzer by Philadelphia kicker Jake Elliott. And then they lose this one to Nick Folk in Tampa.
Yeah, and then, of course, everyone knew the rest of the story. A season that Giant fans would like to forget. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. We're going to look at a man in his 4th season already at the controls of the Bucs offense. From Florida State, it's Jameis Winston.
And there's little doubt that he's looking for a big-time bounce-back season in 2018. Everyone expected a big year in 2017, but the team won just 3 times in his 13 starts. Some of that, you got to put on their defense. They struggled, but there are too many inopportune turnovers that continue to plague him.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Still first down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this will be caught at the 30. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 57 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League. That
it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And my eyes immediately go to Mike Evans. 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career. His numbers may have dropped a little bit in 2017, but he commands respect from every defense with his height and his ability to run downfield and make a big catch.
And a first carry here for Charles Sims. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And New York set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On second down, Flacco to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball at the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what...
And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. Bernard Reedy now on the return. Oh, able to avoid him. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Time to look at the defensive starters for the New York Giants. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league. 17th in the NFL against the run.
And this game, for them, is all about the line of scrimmage. Winning that battle, using their leverage, being the low man with power to take the offensive linemen and run them back into their own backfield and try and create some lost yardage plays.
They go play action. Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he fends him off. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd down, it's Barber. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Second down, Flacco now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. Flacco now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's a give to Barkley. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Flacco from the gun. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defense doing their job. Really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense. No gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Flacco here on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First and 10 here for Flacco. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage. And that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Flacco. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Mitch Unrein able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Operating out of the gun. Flacco Now the ball comes loose, and the Buccaneers have it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Winston. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and 1, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 47 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10, as they're down to the 29-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The Buccaneer first, Winston to Brate.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 25 yards out. And Catanzero's kick is right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mitch Unrein breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this time out. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Flacco looks to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The handoff comes to Stewart, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he didn't quite have the back spin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Here's Winston. A dump off to Sims. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. A first down throw for Winston. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Again, it's Winston. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Jameis now on first down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Charles Sims, the intended target. And it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll throw again. Winston. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Final play of the half here. Winston. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin in the NFC. Dallas paying a visit to Atlanta. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. Big Zeke, Ezekiel Elliott, 2 touchdown runs. From there, let's head up to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Alex Collins has a touchdown run. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Mike Wallace, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be third down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. 3rd and long for Winston. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Again, it's Barkley. Spinning past him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing here on 1st down. Flacco. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A break from the ground game here. Flacco. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has it?
And he's going to pull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Jonathan Stewart, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
But he decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead is up to 8. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by a Jonathan Stewart run. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Off the play fake, Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Evans. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And on the ground they go with a running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And they'll run it here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
This is taken at the 3. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Rolling to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Second down, Flacco now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And now it's 3rd down. And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage to Barkley on the check down. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Dances by him. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second down, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. First down, Winston. Evans has it left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. That is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis again. Airing this one out for Evans. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Working out of the gun, Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. On 1st and 10, Winston. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Catch short of the marker by just a yard, leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw, Winston. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side They said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Jameis to throw it. He finds Humphries. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A Buccaneer first down as Winston hooks up with Humphries. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Giants are going to get the football back. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early, it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now, all of a sudden, the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage, they've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Bootleg, Flacco. And Ingram hauls it in. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Flacco now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Flacco. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loaded in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Flacco will come to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Setting up to throw, Flacco. He dumps it off to Barkley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Aaron Lynch. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Winston. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. 3rd down here.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
That's to his running back, complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Stewart on 1st down. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now Saquon Barkley. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Giants, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what?